Hello, friends, and welcome back to Mobility Matters. I'm your host, Javier Betancourt, Executive Director of the Citizens Independent Transportation Trust, or CITT. We're the quasi-independent agency of Miami-Dade County charged with overseeing your half-penny sales tax for transportation. So that half-penny sales tax is generating about $450 million a year, depending on the economy. The bulk of that goes to our primary partners, the county's Department of Transportation and Public Works, DTPW. They manage the county's roads, bridges, and, of course, its transit system. But they do so much more than that, including special event management. So I'm really happy to have on the program someone with the Department of Transportation and Public Works, their Chief Planning Officer, and I have to say a longtime friend of mine who I actually went to school with, Lisa Colmenares. Dr. Lisa Colmenares, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, Javier, for the invitation. We are thrilled to be here and chat with you today.
Yeah. So as I said, you're the Chief Planning Officer. So tell us a little bit about what that role entails within the department. Correct.
So this role was created around 4.5 years ago at the department to ensure that we would consolidate all the planning functions at the Department of Transportation and Public Works. And in my portfolio, I have multimodal planning, infrastructure planning, grants development and administration, and passenger amenities planning and development as well. So we really oversee different portfolios, like where everything kicks off from all the modes of transportation planning: bicycle, pedestrian, roads, transit, and also freight. Yeah. So it's really, we get an opportunity to work with all of the different municipalities. We get to work with our different transportation partners, including the Transportation Planning Organization, the Florida Department of Transportation, and of course with the CITT.
Of course. And you're a fellow planner, so you're a natural person to lead that department. And planning is so important, right? Because, you can't just always react to everything. We as a community have a tendency, because of the pace at which our community has grown, sometimes we're just reacting. But to be truly effective, you got to think ahead. Where's the growth happening? Where are the challenges? Where are the opportunities? And lay out a plan that then we can kind of proactively follow, right? It's much more efficient and effective.
Correct. And one of the projects that we have been leading is the Countywide Transportation Master Plan. Mm-hmm. We have been working on it, and we finally have a blueprint or a framework where we can efficiently evaluate all of the different projects that are coming through the pipeline. We have been working annually. We invite the municipalities and our partners and look ahead to see what we're going to be having in the pipeline for the next 5 years, right. 10 and 20 years.
In terms of development growth and population growth.
Correct. Yeah. And we look at different projects, and we also prioritize them, and we have them by buckets. So we have priorities for bicycle, pedestrian, for transit, for freight, and for roadway. And that fits into the long-range transportation plan of the county, working with our transportation planning organization. And we also annually prioritize the projects that we're going to be putting in our capital budget as well. So it really is a way to be efficient and use our resources the best way possible, and also collaborate with municipalities, with FDOT, with our different internal departments in the county. If there's a project that we have on a facility, then we kind of what we do stringing. We look at other projects because all of our projects are geocoded and GIS. And then we see, okay, there's an intersection improvement on this roadway, or we have sidewalk improvements, ADA improvements, or maybe water sewer has a project. So then we can only impact the that municipality or those communities.
Wow, working outside of our silos, that's great.
Correct. So that's a way to do it. And we meet with all of our partners so that way we can have a better bang for our buck.
And I was going to ask a question, but I think you may have just answered part of it, and this is kind of geeking out as a planner. But you mentioned the TPO. They have a long-range transportation plan. They have their 5-year transportation improvement program and many other plans, as their agency's name would imply. How does the master plan, I guess, compare, or how do you differentiate that from those planning efforts? I mean, obviously there's some overlap, but.
Correct. So we are an implementation agency. Mm-hmm. The NPO is more of a planning agency. So their long range transportation plan receives the priorities from all of the different agencies. So our master plan is no different than the Cutler Bay Master Plan or the Miami
Right.
Beach Master Plan or FDOT's work program. We have our priorities and we provide them as input so that way they can go into the federal document.
Gotcha.
And same with the Transportation Improvement Program. So we annually prioritize our projects, and then when the Transportation Improvement Program and the annual updates come in, we provide those updated priorities to them. And we get our projects ready to receive federal and state funds and grants and so forth.
Now, one of the things I've seen happen in my career is that when you see someone who's really good at their job, they end up inheriting more things to do because they can be trusted to implement them. So one of the things that you inherited, and it's actually quite exciting, is all of the, I guess, transportation and mobility planning and then the execution around a small event we had here recently called the FIFA World Cup. And it posed all sorts of transportation challenges just because of the amounts of people, that were associated with that event. Not just at the stadium, but, here in downtown for the, the Fan Fest and other things. So you were asked or tasked to head up that initiative. So tell us about that.
Okay. Thank you for that question. So, yes, so I was tasked to be the program mobility manager for our region, for the Miami urbanized region, and work in collaboration with our municipalities and also work with Tri-Rail, Brightline, and as well with our Miami Stadium for the tournament, but our Hard Rock Stadium, and work with our different agencies, including our safety and security agencies, our sheriff office, Florida Highway Patrol. So FIFA had a requirement for all of the host cities to prepare a mobility plan. So we started working on that plan 18 months in advance.
18 months.
18 months.
Wow.
And we had deadlines. So the first plan, we submitted a draft in March of 25, then October 25. Then we had the draw where we knew what teams we were getting, what matches we were getting, who was coming. So we submitted an update in March, and we had a pivot. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. And our final was submitted in May. So it really has been a project of a lifetime. It's really it's been an honor and a pleasure to work with our region on this and work with the stadium. So we have 7 matches that we hosted. It was very interesting because from the gate, we knew that the Colombia-Portugal match was the most requested match, even more than the final. 50 million people had requested tickets for the match. Wow. Our stadium's capacity is 65,000. So we knew that it was very requested, followed by the Argentina match with Cabo Verde, which was also over 30 million people requested tickets for that match. And we also had the Brazil-Scotland match, also over 30 million people. So we had great matches that we hosted. Everybody was excited to come to Miami. And we had our fan festival that we also had to plan for. We were hosting 24 days of the fan festival at Bayfront Park. And we knew that we had the Metro Mover and the Metro Rail to support us, but that wasn't the case at the stadium. Right. So
2 very different scenarios. Yeah.
2 very different scenarios, but we had great partners. So the basis and the framework for our mobility plan was, okay, we know that the Dolphins have already hubs. People take Tri-Rail, or they park at Golden Glades or at the Hard Rock, across the street from the Hard Rock Hotel, which we call Lot 70. And we said, okay, why don't we augment this? And we know that Brightline sometimes provides shuttles when there's events at Hard Rock. So we said, these are our 3 natural hubs. But we need to provide mobility from Metro Rail. We knew that because we knew we had the Fan Festival, and you can connect through Metro Rail. So that's where Martin Luther King, that idea stemmed from, and it was great for the community. We made improvements at that station, and it was really successful. So I can tell you that it was very utilized. We really we moved over 202,000 passengers just from those 4 hubs for the 7 matches. Wow. And our most successful was the bronze match we were holding here in Miami. 38,000 trips just on the bronze match.
Wow.
And
that's like half of the stadium, right?
Correct.
The stadium holds 65. Yeah.
Correct.
That's incredible. And what was the experience like? I mean, from what I saw in the news media, it seemed like an overall positive experience. There were some challenges, obviously, with security mostly, but it wasn't necessarily the transportation. So what looking back at it, how did you do?
So we really were monitoring. So I'll tell you, we really were monitoring what was happening. So it was the first time that we were in the command center at the stadium. I was there for 6 out of the 7 matches. But our team was there the entire time. So Josiel, our deputy director, Josiel Ferrer Diaz, was there for the match that I was not there, but I still was at the stadium at the match. And our team was in communication. We also had our staff from traffic signals and signs, and we had cameras also, because we had deployed cameras along 22nd Avenue and 199 where the shuttles were coming. And so we can address any issues that were happening with traffic, and we also had signal priority for the buses. Right. And what we saw was that people were getting off the trains, either Tri-Rail or off the Martin Luther King station. And we had our staff, we had volunteers, we had our operational staff, and we had the stadium staff there. So we had to make sure that we checked people's tickets. There was a high security, a perimeter at the stadium. And then it was seamless. Once we had buses lined up waiting for the people, and people were very happy. The fans were chanting their chants and excited to go to the match. Everybody was friendly, and they had a great experience. We told people, you don't have to worry about driving, being stuck in traffic. You just come, we'll drive you to the stadium, and you can just enjoy yourself. So we saw numbers up to 60,000 people at the Hard Rock shuttle hub, and also at Golden Glades for the bronze match. So people were people were just taking these shuttles up to 6,000 on the inbound and out the outbound as well. And we saw the numbers that we saw from Brightline. We saw up to 47% of people coming from Orlando and then grabbing the shuttle to go to the match, and then going back to Orlando. And we knew we had to plan for that, because we already had been monitoring during the preparation of the mobility plan that people would come from Orlando.
Interesting.
You know that tourists were coming.
Because they fly in and out of, I guess, that airport instead. Maybe make a trip out of Disney while they're here, right?
Exactly, the point. So we knew that from Club Cup, we had seen those percentages.
Well, that must have been great numbers for Brightline too, right? Because coming from Orlando.
Correct. And Tri-Rail. So we saw an increase in ridership for Brightline, Tri-Rail, and for our Metrorail and Metromover system as well. For Metromover, during those 24 days, we saw an increase, and we moved up over 800,000 people on Metromover alone.
Wow.
And the attendance at FansFest was 595,000 people.
Yeah, I know they had to close the gates at some point because they just reached capacity so quickly. So shout out to the Miami Downtown Development Authority and everyone involved in FanFest too. That was a great success. Even though it was very hot, people still went out and partied, right?
People still went out. I know that for the Colombia match, they had to close the gates. 30,000 people were there like an hour before the match. And right after that match, Argentina was playing in Kansas, and people stayed. And it was the most attended day of there. So kudos to the local host committee, Lena Hudak and Ray Martinez and Greg, that they really did a phenomenal job with the Fan Fest.
Now, you mentioned kind of the inbound and everyone was happy kind of going to the stadium. I would think half of the fans aren't happy going back, right? But did everyone behave? Did you have any major security issues between the fans kind of commingling on some of the services, particularly on the return when somebody may not be so happy?
We knew that 70% of the people leave in the first hour after the match ends. Wow. So what FIFA did is that they activated like fan activities at the stadium after the match up to 2 hours.
Okay.
And hospitality remained open as well 2 hours. So some fans stayed, especially those that probably were in a hospitality suite, people that wanted to go to the FIFA store, or some of those activations at the stadium. So that helped a bit. Some people stayed back. But we did see a big amount of people trying to leave in the first hour. So in 90 minutes, we cleared most of the people out of the stadium. So it was really a phenomenal operations and planning, and that's what happens when you plan ahead.
Plan
right?
ahead, exactly.
So we really collaborated with each other. We were in constant communication with our rail teams, including Tri-Rail and Metrorail, Metromover. So we were telling them, because the buses have GPS, we were telling them 7 buses are on their way to MLK, 9 buses are on their way to Golden Glades, and at the end of it, we were telling them, hold Tri-Rail, because the last train is leaving on its way northbound, and we have 3, 4, 5 buses coming in. So it was really coordination, and I think that's the best lesson learned, just collaboration between all of the partners.
Yes, and hopefully that continues, right? I think we've gotten better as a county and as a region in collaborating, but I think there's still a lot more to be done. And, I started my career with the Regional Planning Council, so I've always thought in terms of the region and collaboration. So maybe this is the beginning now of really thinking and acting more collaboratively, even across county lines. Are any of the structures that were put in place for this going to continue, like regular meetings with
So hopefully,
other partners?
yes. We yesterday we had the stadium officials coming to our office. We invited them to meet with our team. We had our final meeting with our internal Department of Transportation and Public Works team. We invited them, and they're really hoping to move forward when there's large events, possibly college football or Formula One, and really activating these types of activities and coordination to provide Metrorail or other activities with them, and definitely having us back in command with our cameras so we can collaborate with them. And we really have a good partnership and good relationships with Forge through this partnership.
Excellent. Well, I'm happy to hear it's going to continue. Now, as any good planner does, after something, you kind of, before you look forward, you kind of look back and see how you did, and you kind of think about lessons learned, right? So I guess a 2-part question. Did you seek feedback from your writers? Like, was there like a survey or an app where people can provide their feedback? And what generally did that feedback tell you? And then what are some of the lessons learned that perhaps we can apply for next time?
Correct. So we haven't launched a survey yet, but we have been monitoring social media, and that has been really positive, up to 86% positive or neutral. We also seek those messages, but we are launching feedback to obtain from our volunteers who were there. We also had personnel from the Goodwill Ambassador Program from the mayor that helped us. So we want to seek their feedback and see what they saw. They were there, boots on the ground, talking to all of the people that were there, and then naturally seeking some feedback from the different attendees that came to the matches and so forth, and how their experience was. But generally, we heard positive feedback. They really enjoyed having this option. We heard from some of the fans that they were very thankful that this option was available, and also that it was free. Because that was not available in all of the host cities. Some of the host cities were charging fees for transportation, and we were not charging them to get on the shuttles.
Wow. Well, it sounds like a very exciting opportunity, and that you hit it out of the park. Well, it's a different sport. So you kicked it in the goal. I don't know what you say in soccer. So congratulations. And I have to ask, so who are you rooting for?
Well, I have been a long-time Argentina fan since the times of Maradona and now Messi and the entire team. I have to say that they play with their heart, and they have a lot of passion, and I congratulate them on reaching a second final in a row. And I appreciate how they represented us, as well as all of the other South American teams, right? Brazil and Paraguay, Ecuador, and I think everybody did a great job. I think we are all a sentimental fan of Cabo Verde. I think they were the new revelation, and
the underdog story,
we're all fans of the Norway row. I think that will stay.
For sure.
Right?
Now every team's going to have to come up with something, right?
Yes, I think we had a lot of favorites coming out of this tournament.
Yeah,
and congratulations to Spain for their second star.
La Madre Patria.
Yes.
I was, of course, rooting for the States, but, once they were eliminated, Spain was my team. So I was happy to see them win. But great. So, let's do it again in 4 years, huh? What do you think?
All right. I think there's going to be 6 countries that are kind of co-hosting the in 1930 the first World Cup was played in Uruguay. So Uruguay, Paraguay, and Argentina are going to host the first set of matches, and then it will go to Spain, Morocco, and Portugal. So that's going to be an exciting centenary World Cup, and hopefully we will be fortunate and we can attend.
Well, maybe you've done such
matches.
a great job here. We're going to ship you over there to kind of manage their transportation. What do you think? I don't think you would decline that.
More to come. Thank you, Javier, for your kind words and for always being a great partner.
No, of course. And I think it would have been so much fun to be in that operations room. Did you ever get like a chance to kind of escape and just kind of take a peek at the game, or you were probably pretty well focused on the job, right?
The first match was interesting. We had Saudi Arabia and Uruguay, and we had assigned 25 buses to MLK, and we saw that we had 3,000 people. So we had to send 50 additional buses.
Yeesh.
So we had in between when the match started, when the people sat down and the people leaving, we had to reassign, and even before that, we had to reassign, and that occurred the first 3 matches, like working together with the stadium staff. By the time that England and Norway were playing, we were kind of more relaxed. So I think I saw like 10 minutes of that.
Yeah. But 10 minutes more than most of us, right? So that's pretty cool.
So I think it's been a great honor of my career to see it, and I did attend the Argentina Cape Verde match, which I think, to me, was the best match that I was able to sit down and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And to know that you had such a big part, to the whole thing, I think just gives it that extra sense of pride. And
I took the shuttle to get to the stadium.
Of course you did. I would hope so.
Yes.
And how was your experience?
My experience was wonderful.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think what people don't understand is that FIFA is huge, right? But at the end of the day, the stadium still holds the same number of people that any other major sporting event, whether it's the Super Bowl or the college football championship or FIFA. So you now have the blueprint to kind of tackle those and just be much more efficient and effective. So hopefully when you attend any of these events in the future, you'll have a much easier time getting in and out. So please keep it up.
All right. Thank you so much.
So Lisa, any last words or any other things you wanted to talk about?
I guess we want to continue collaborating with our municipalities. We're getting ready to finalize our annual update to our master plan. So we'll get ready for the new cycle, and we'll invite our 34 municipalities, our partners, to our municipal workshop, and we'll work with you as well, with our partners, and we will continue making this region the best region in the entire nation.
That's it. Onward and upward.
Yes.
One thing I wanted to ask you about, I forgot, I apologize. Vision Zero. So I think that's another project that kind of falls under you, and it's something I know that's probably near and dear to your heart. So tell us about Vision Zero for those who don't know what it is. What is it? And what are some of the things that you're doing?
Correct. So our Vision Zero program really has a goal to reduce or eliminate all fatalities by the year 2040. We have been working on our Vision Zero action plan, which has been adopted by our Mayor Cava. And right now we did receive federal funding from the U.S. Department of Transportation, $16 million, which we have matched. We also have partnered with the City of Miami Beach, and I know we had Jose Gonzalez here earlier, with the City of Hialeah, with the Miami-Dade TPO, with the University of Miami. And we have a program that we are going to be implementing, advancing 24 projects, and several of them already have cleared environmental and are moving into design and construction. We also are working with the Transportation Planning Organization to have some safety audits where we have prioritized our high injury network. And we also will be working with UM on some innovative telematics and getting some data to look at where there's conflicts and near misses, and also looking at where we have data that hasn't been reported through a police report. So we look at people that have gone to like the hospital rooms after a crash. So all of that data will help us really have a full picture and really make our infrastructure safer, and have more improvements and actions for our Vision Zero program.
Yeah, desperately needed. We love to be number one on a lot of lists in Miami, but unfortunately, we're number one in bicycle pedestrian fatalities, and that's not a number one we want to embrace. So, thank you for tackling that. It's extremely important, and happy to see that things are moving forward.
Yes. Thank you so much.
And Lisa, thank you for everything. Thank you for being here. Thank you for what you do. Most importantly, thank you for your friendship. I've told people, I'm going to tell you now publicly, I don't think I would have gotten my master's if not for Lisa. She saved my butt in a couple of classes, and so I appreciate you and for everything you do. Keep up the great work.
Thank you. It's all about teamwork and partnership. So thank you, Javier, for your friendship as well. It's been like a quarter of a century now.
Oh my gosh! Let's not remind people. But yeah, time flies.
Yes.
Well, folks, I want to thank you for tuning into this episode of Mobility Matters. You can go back and watch all of our previous episodes. Oh my God, I think we're hitting like the 120th episode over a 3-year time span. So lots of good past episodes you can check out on our website, miamidade.gov/CITT. And please continue to watch. We have some great guests lined up through the end of the year. So please like, share, subscribe to the program. And finally, I want to thank our partners in this endeavor, Miami's community newspapers, and Zoni back here behind the screens who produced today's program. Thank you all very much. So, folks, that's all the time we have. But until next time, keep moving, Miami.